main differences are that we focus the wines in the vineyard. We understand that Tempranillo has a completely different behavior depending where you farm it. When people talk about the terroir of whatever the grape, Cabernet Sauvignon or whatever, the most important thing is, well, you taste the wine and you say, well, this is a Cabernet Sauvignon, and then you think about the terroir. In Tempranillo, it's the other way around. It's more dominant the terroir than the grape itself. So even though we just farm in a small valley, the soil changes very, very fast. You can go from very sandy soils to a very clay calcareous soils in just 10 kilometers. You can go from 400 meters of altitude to 650 in a very short space. All these things affect to the behavior, and you need to understand which is the vocation of the grape. When you understand that, you have success in winemaking. I don't like the name modern wines, but we make, you could say, a modern wine, which is Jorge Muga, and we make which is called a classical wine, which is Pradonea. We've been making Jorge Muga for over 20 years, so it's not a modern wine, it's quite old already. The idea of Jorge Muga wines was because in the 80s, Bodegas Muga was very, very successful in the national market, in the Spanish market, but we were not that successful in the export market. We observed that many of the wines that were successful, they have a bit more fruit, more character, more structure, and newer oak, fresher oak. So we tasted some of these top wines in the world, and we said, well, we can do something we can do that, but keeping our identity, keeping our philosophy, just changing the philosophy of the selection of the grapes. Something I hate is when I taste a wine and I cannot recognize where it's coming from. Sometimes my great-grandmother could tell you from which village into Rioja was coming the wine. Today, sometimes I can't say from which continent the wine is coming. So that's for me is frustrating. I need to learn from other areas of the world, but always with character, with personality. Technically, they are perfect, but many of the wines in the world today, they are boring. They are very, very boring. It's nothing new, nothing special, nothing you can recognize. So my focus is trying to define the identity of Rioja. I want our wines to be easy to recognize. That's it. That's it. I don't. The references for me are those wines which are very good and they are impossible to imitate. You can describe our winemaking as a very simple winemaking and very complex grape growing. Okay, we try to obtain the best of the vineyard to bring it to the winery.